So what's up, guys? In this video I thought I'd take the time to answer a few questions I've received from some of you, and so we'll be doing that in this video as we take a little walk around. But first, a reminder that if you want to help support us here, get your name on that card of fame at the beginning of the video. There are links down below to PayPal, buymeacoffee.com, and my Patreon, and I'll send you things in return if you're kind enough to do that. We never had a month where we received $500 in donations. This can be the first one. It's July. It's my birthday month also, so it'd be awesome if you could click one of those donate buttons and make that happen. And I'd, of course, really appreciate it. I love all my supporters. Thank you very much. Some of the questions I received are, I'll answer them because the people are friends, but normally I don't like to do hypotheticals. I don't really deal in hypotheticals. You know, the old, what if this happens, what are you going to do? Or what if that happens, what are you going to do? Because then even if I give an answer, there can be other things added onto it, like, okay, you would do that, but then what if this happened after you did that? And it could basically go on forever. And I don't know, it's kind of a senseless exercise. I believe in just dealing with what's happening, what has actually happened, that kind of thing. Instead of just, you know, what if? But I'll answer these questions this time. Somebody wanted to know, they said they looked online, could not find a definitive answer on when Cambodia was going to allow tourists and other foreigners to come back in. Like as far as the timing and the details. And the reason you can't find a definitive answer is because the definitive answer is indefinitive. It's there has been no official announcement of a timeline. They signed the resolution that said starting in the last quarter of this year, so that would be about October, they're going to allow tourists and other visitors from other countries to come back into Cambodia without all the fine or without all the deposits and restrictions, as long as they can prove that they're fully vaccinated. And like I said, it was presented, it was passed, so that's the deal. But that's all we know. There's been no updates on. I'm pretty sure they're not just going to one day say, okay, anybody from any country, as long as you're fully vaccinated, you can just come on in. I'm pretty sure they're going to roll it out based on countries. They'll probably look at some numbers, look at some stats, and figure out who the priority people are that they want to let in first. But hopefully by the end of the year, you know, because they got that 3-month period, October, November, and December, hopefully by the end of the year, it'll be open up pretty much for everyone. As long as you're fully vaccinated and you can prove it and all that good stuff. Because that's what they are looking at. Yeah, so you're not going to find any answers online because there are no answers. The only thing we know is that starting in the last quarter of this month, they're supposed to be opening up the borders for tourists who are fully vaccinated. That's the only absolute I know. Anything else, even what I say, is just speculation. May or may not happen. I always try to give you the heads up if that's the case. I always like to say, this is my opinion, this is my thinking, this is what I thought, but could be true, could not be true. So if I say something like, I think they're going to do it this way, again, that's not an absolute. That's just, in my mind, the way I would probably do it, the way that I think makes sense. So but it's not necessarily going to happen that way. But of course, as I get new information about that, I will let you guys know. Okay, and the second question I had was along the lines of, man, I should have wrote these down, but it was, if you would have found out about Cambodia earlier in your life, would you have moved earlier? Would you have taken the opportunity when you were younger to move if you would have known about being able to move there? Again, that's a hypothetical. We can all look back on our lives and say, you know, if only this, if only this, if only that, I would have done this and such. But we can't really say for sure, because especially in the past, that's not the decision we made. That's not what happened. So it's kind of hard to put into honesty and truth what we would or would not have actually done. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to say probably not. Like, if I would have found out about Cambodia and moving here in my 30s, I probably would have had no inclination to move here at all. Would not have been on my radar, even if I would have found out about it. I think sometimes, I think certain opportunities find you when you're ready for that opportunity, if that makes sense. That's not some kind of philosophical new age mumbo jumbo. I think that's just true. I think you find out about certain things happen at a certain time in your life when you're ready to actually make a firm decision on those things. And I think this was one of those. If I would have been, like I said, 30s, maybe even 40s, wouldn't have really been a good solid reason for me to move. I wasn't quite at the point where I was very frustrated with my jobs and my life and everything. Couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So the answer is no. I don't think I would have, even if I would have found out about it sooner. But if I would have, I will say this, if I would have found out about it sooner, it's possible that would have planted a seed in my mind, and maybe I would have prepared, even unconsciously, a little bit for it. Maybe not have waited as long once I became so frustrated with my day-to-day life back home. Maybe I would have had that seed in my head and went, you know what, let me check into this again and find out what the deal is. But as far as if I would have moved, no, I don't believe I would have. I don't see any way I would have done that in my 30s, or even at least early to mid 40s. And the third question went a little something like this. Once the building projects are complete and the road projects are all done, should be at the end of December if they follow the timeline. Once that's all done, and of course they start opening up the country for tourists, costs a lot of money to make. Are they going to it's going to be more expensive to live in Siem Reap than it has previously, you know, trying to get back some of that money. That's a good point. I'll say this is the government that spent the money you spend at businesses and markets. I don't know how their taxes work here, but unless they get a big tax increase, which I don't see happening, I don't see them raising prices, trying to make tourists and foreigners try to pay back some of the money for the road projects. This was basically done trying to get the town to look as nice as possible, so people will want to come here once they reopen the country and spend their money. On the other hand, anybody who's been here before, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, I know people all the time who said, hey, I was there once, you know, way back when. And they'll tell you that, you know, prices fluctuate, prices go up. I tell them about a great bowl of noodles I can get for $1.50, and some people are like, 10 years ago that was only 75 cents. It's doubled in price. And yeah, well, you know, that happens everywhere in the world. I think if prices do go up, it's just going to be because you know, financial reasons for the businesses. And I don't think they're going to go up so much that people are going to be like sticker shocked or anything. I think it's going to be just like hey, you know, we can't just charge $1 for this anymore. We're going to have to go up to $1.25. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But, you know, by doing that, you're not paying for the construction or the roads. That's just a business decision. Plus, it would go to figure that the more tourists you have, the better the competition, and the lower the prices would be. If you're getting an influx of a lot of foreigners that have money, that want to spend it, you want to try to make it your place, the place that they will go to out of you know, the 5 other places on the block, right? One way you can do that is by charging a lower price. Competition is always good for the consumer. So yeah, I don't see prices going up substantially. There are a lot of specials right now on apartments and houses for rent because of the virus. Those might go back up to the normal price, but it won't be a price increase. Right now, they're just special prices trying to get people to rent. All right, so those are the 3 questions I had that I thought I'd put in this video. A little walk and talk around. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer, leave them in the comment down below. I'll take a look at them and I might answer them in a future video. Maybe even the next video if it's a good question. You never know. Also, be sure to check out all my links down below. As I said at the beginning, I have links to my PayPal, buymeacoffee.com/DDC, and my Patreon. You can help support what we do here. And like I said, I'm looking for a $500 goal this month. So donate if you can and if you want to. I really appreciate it. All my supporters make good things happen. All the time. Also down below are links to my social media, links to my other YouTube channel, my comedy podcast, Laughing on the Inside. Be sure to check that out. And also links to other videos vlogging from Cambodia. Good channels, great channels. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good information on there as well. If you're into seeing the sights, check those out. You can also buy my t-shirts down below, or, you know, buy my books individually if you want. However, if you donate directly to my PayPal, I'll send you a copy of my book, Live in Cambodia, a guide for living in the Kingdom of Wonder. Send it right to your email along with a thank you note. But if you'd rather just buy it individually, the links for that are down below as well. All kinds of good stuff down there. You should check it out. It's a smorgasbord of links, different things you can check out. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next one.